Hi, today we're going to start our new unit. It's one that I'm really excited about, and I know you're going to enjoy it too. It's Greek mythology. There are so many fascinating gods and goddesses and demigods and titans and creatures that it's just incredibly exciting. So we're going to start this today. And what is Greek mythology? Well, we know what myths are. Myths are a story that's been made up and passed down and told about how things came to be, how something in nature came to be, the creation. So these classic Greek myths that we're going to be studying, they explain a natural phenomenon, the creation of something, and they always show a struggle between good and evil. And they show the relationship between mortals and the supernatural, or the super beings. They contain magical characters. You're going to see gods and goddesses, nymphs, giants, cyclopses, all these interesting characters. And sometimes they show the hero trying to overcome or accomplishing a great feat or a great task. And they reference places or cultural aspects of Greece. So they're really fascinating, they're interesting, and a lot of these myths have been around as early as 750 BC. The ancient Greeks, like many people, they tried to explain the mysteries and nature of how it came to be. They didn't really have the science like we have now. So they created these gods and goddesses and powerful beings that ruled the storms, the seasons, the growing of things, love, death, and everyday life. According to Greek myths, the god and goddesses lived on top of this high mountain in Greece, Mount Olympus. They were the only ones up there. So they ruled the world from there and occasionally came down to earth. When they came down, they might have come down as animals or disguised themselves as other creatures. And we're going to read about how they interacted. And sometimes some of these gods and goddesses didn't always get along. But for the most part, they tell a story of what came to be and pretty much magic. It all started with Gaia, Mother Earth, and Uranus. So they began this whole Greek mythology, and they had children, and you're going to be reading about it in our first story and also watching it on Brain Pop. But one of their children, who was probably the most interesting and had the biggest impact, was Cronus. You're going to find out some of the things Cronus did. And remember, mythology, a lot of it is pretty unbelievable, but that's how they made sense of what was happening. So Cronus was one of the original titans. We're going to find out what titans are versus what our Olympians are. So Cronus kind of started this whole relationship with the 12 Olympians. And 3 of the major players in Mount Olympus, and you're going to know these, are Zeus. Zeus was the king of the gods and the god of the sky. And then you've probably heard of Poseidon. Poseidon was the god of the sea. And lastly, Hades. Hades ruled the underworld. So those 3 brothers kind of divvied up who was in charge of everything. And you're going to see how their relationship played out and what gods and goddesses they call upon when they need something, or maybe even when they're upset with somebody else. So there's so many different things going on. There's a lot of conflict. There's a lot of excitement. There's hardships. There's triumphs. So we've got a lot to cover in this unit. So I want you to read the story for today, ask a lot of questions, and then maybe we can come up with where we want to go because there are so many to cover. And this could go on and on. So sit back for a great unit.